How do you want to age? I'm asking that question. The reason I'm asking that question is because what I've learned after 9 years of strength coaching is that how you want to age actually is up to you in many, many ways. Yes, genetics are a factor and life can happen and, disease and things can happen. But outside of that, it's quite a bit in our control, more than you might realize. So let me tell you a story about two former tennis players that I worked with. So one was 95 years old when I met him, and he came in to train, and he asked him about his history, and he had quit playing tennis competitively at the age of 90. Now, the other former tennis player was somebody who, when I met him, was about 84, and he had quit playing tennis at around 65. So one was older, but had played tennis longer. One was a little bit younger, but had stopped playing tennis many, many years before. The differences between these two men was quite remarkable. The 95-year-old walked without a cane or walker, nothing, and could get on and off gym machines with relative ease. I would be there to help, but with relative ease. The 84-year-old was walking with a cane and had trouble getting up out of a chair. So quite strong differences between these two gentlemen. They both were great with their minds and engaged with life in every way, but physically they were in very different shape. So what's the lesson from that is that if you challenge your body, then your body keeps adapting to the challenge that you're giving it, and your body keeps getting stronger. This is what I'm finding at 68. And if you conversely, if you don't challenge your body, if you have a tendency to sit more, if you have stopped the physical activities that you used to enjoy, then you're not challenging your body, and your body is responding in the opposite way, which is that basically it's deteriorating. There's not a nicer way of saying it, right? And what's interesting about our bodies is that they're extremely intelligent. So as I say, if I apply challenge, then I can keep growing this bicep muscle, right? If I don't apply challenge to this bicep muscle, it is going to just soften and deteriorate. It's going to lose mass over time. And that mass loss actually starts shortly after 30 years old, believe it or not. Bone density and muscle mass kind of peak around the same time before you're 30, and from there it's a slippery slope without activity, and it's not noticeable. People, often people don't notice anything until kind of maybe in their 40s or somewhere in there, but then if you don't apply challenge, if you don't use resistance, then the body has nothing to adapt to, and it's just gonna kind of shrink. So that's what I'm learning. That's what I've learned about aging after 9 years of strength coaching, right? So, and the great news is that you can start, like, however old you are right now watching this video, start today. Tomorrow at the latest, right? You could be 65, you could be 46, you could be 78, you could be 91. Just start. It doesn't really matter what you did. The past doesn't matter at all. What matters is today and going forward. What are you going to do, and how are you going to challenge your body? And if you strength train 2 to 3 times a week, great. If you eat healthy, if you hydrate, if you sleep, if you stay mentally challenged, engaged with community and friends and family, live with purpose, then you're going to age actively and having more fun. Then conversely, if you lose strength, lose independence, get stuck in a chair, lose interest in life, right? That's kind of the alternative. So that is, how do you want to age? That was the question I started with. And the truth I'm training for is that strength creates choices.